Recently, there have been a couple of studies come out about Generation X and cancer risk. As a Gen Xer and a two-time cancer survivor, it's kind of intrigued me. I'll admit though, what I read did not really surprise me all that much, given what I have learned through all of my research the last couple years. So today, we are looking into the studies about why our generation is facing higher cancer risks and what we can do about it. I'm going to do a little bit of speculating on my own based on the info in the studies and my own research. I'm Rachel. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so according to two recent studies, Generation X, those of us born between 1965 and 1980, faces a higher risk of developing cancer compared to any previous generations. We're discussing the most recent research findings and looking into the role diet, obesity, environmental factors, and gut health play in this increased risk. Both these studies have been released in the last month or so. Most recently was the Lancet Public Health Study, released just a couple of days ago. This study was funded by the American Cancer Society, and it analyzed data from over 23 million patients diagnosed between 2000 and 2019. It focused on 34 types of cancer. The findings revealed that cancer rates are significantly higher in Gen X and Millennials compared to older generations in 17 of those 34 cancer types. Key increases were noted in uterine, pancreatic, and kidney cancers. And after declining for decades, a number of cancers have begun to climb again, including colorectal, endometrial, gallbladder, ovarian, testicular, anal, ER-positive breast cancer, HIV-linked cancer, and certain types of gastric cancer. The study also showed that those born around 1990, millennials, have up to a 169% higher incidence of certain cancers compared to those born in the 1950s. Now, before that, there was the JAMA Network and National Cancer Institute study. This study used data from 3.8 million cancer cases from 1992 to 2018 to compare cancer rates from Gen X and Boomers. Based on modeling and past trends, researchers found increased cancer risks in Gen X. It projected rising rates of thyroid, kidney, rectal, colon cancers, and leukemia in both men and women, prostate cancers in men, and uterine, ovarian, pancreatic, and non-Hodgkin lymphoma cancers in women. The modeling shows that when Gen Xers turn 60, they are more likely to be diagnosed with invasive cancers than Boomers were at the same age. In fact, the study found that cancer is more likely to hit Gen Xers than any prior generations from 1908 to 1964. Researchers in this study were surprised by both how many types of cancers were rising at higher rates in Gen Xers and the fact that projected increases in cancer rates would, again, offset recent declines in cancer cases. Both studies underscore the significant role obesity, more sedentary lifestyles, and environmental factors play in the rising rates of cancer rates among Gen X. Obesity rates in the U.S. have soared in the last few decades, from around 13% in 1980 to 42% by 2020. And obesity is linked to at least 13 types of cancer, including colorectal, breast, and pancreatic cancers, according to the CDC. The CDC also reports that less than a quarter of adults in the U.S. get the recommended amount of physical activity. Other factors include environmental exposures like pollution and chemicals in consumer products, the overuse of antibiotics, both in medicine and in our foods, and poor sleep. Now, while the new studies don't pinpoint the exact reasons for rising cancer rates, experts suspect obesity is a major factor. When you look at the cancers related to obesity, it's linked to 10 of the 17 cancers that are increasing in Gen Xers as well as millennials. According to Timothy Rebeck from the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, obesity causes chronic inflammation, damaging cells over time and potentially leading to cancer. But it's not just about BMI though. Changes in insulin sensitivity and hormone levels also play a role. Researchers believe the rise in obesity and cancer rates, particularly among younger adults, might begin in childhood or even before. Early life exposures, including diet and antibiotics, could alter gut bacteria and influence that cancer risk. Now, this part is purely speculation on my part based on all of the research I've done over the last few years. But I believe that one significant factor behind this increase is our diet. especially the prevalence of highly processed foods. During the late 60s, 70s, and 80s, when Gen Xers were growing up, ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, saccharin, and aspartame became widely used. These highly processed ingredients, found in everything from soda to snacks, became a major part of our diets. And back then, the impact on long-term health was not well understood. The number of products and ingredients used in ultra-processed foods have only grown over the years. According to one study, around 58% of staples in U.S. supermarkets are ultra-processed, which is 41% more than supermarkets in Europe. As other experts have pointed out as well, the availability of fast foods just was not there as readily for baby boomers and earlier generations. Ultra-processed foods contribute to obesity, diabetes, and other health conditions that increase our cancer risk, and they lack the nutrients necessary for maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. Emerging research continually shows a strong link between gut health and cancer risk. A healthy gut microbiome helps regulate our immune system and reduce inflammation, both of which are crucial in preventing cancer. Unfortunately, diets high in ultra-processed foods disrupt our gut microbiome, leading to increased inflammation and a weakened immune response. Now, I know I sound like a broken record when I keep talking about this, but I don't really care. I am going to keep talking about it until we all start believing it. With so many of us growing up on an ultra-processed diet and continuing that into adulthood, we are perpetuating the cycle, which is why these findings don't surprise me at all. Gen X kids were the latchkey generation. As a kid who went to kindergarten with a house key on a chain around my neck and who was basically raised by a couple of my older siblings, let's be real. We were not eating healthy or real food, although none of us really knew that at the time. Meals were quick and easy. Honeycomb, Lucky Charms, Super Sugar Crisp, Cookie Crisp, and Pop-Tarts for breakfast most days. Little Debbie cakes, ding-dongs, and cheese puffs is my lunch with peanut butter on Wonder Bread. Sometimes a can of pop wrapped in aluminum foil in my lunch. Same things as snacks when we got home, and Tombstone pizza, Hamburger Helper, and mac and cheese. We ate whatever we could find in the cabinet and the fridge that was easy and quick. And then we came of age in the low-fat era, where sugar replaced fat in foods. We all remember scarfing down Snackwell cookies by the dozen. So, what can we do about it? Well, awareness is key. Understanding the risk is the first step toward making better health and lifestyle choices. By focusing on a diet rich in whole, minimally processed foods, staying active, maintaining a healthy weight, and reducing exposure to harmful environmental factors, we can be proactive in reducing our cancer risk. By strengthening our gut microbiome, we strengthen our immune system and better equip our bodies to fight off disease. Let's be mindful of what we eat and how it impacts our long-term health. I don't think it's ever too late. I've said it several times. Our gut microbiome can begin to see improvement in as little as just a few days. More and more studies continue to come out pointing to lifestyle factors, past and present, contributing to increases in cancer. We need to start paying attention. We need to do better. Now, I don't give a rat's patootie what kind of diet you follow. Just eat the most minimally processed, best quality food you can afford. Fermented foods and high fiber. Read ingredient labels and shoot for the least ingredients. Make small changes if you have to, because constant small changes make a big difference over time. It's easier than you think. The more you tell yourself it's going to be hard, the harder it's going to be. Tell yourself that you can do it and you'll be able to. Okay, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you found the information helpful or interesting, please, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. All of that helps the channel be seen by more people who might benefit from it. The more interaction from you, the more YouTube shares the channel. Thanks again. I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, as always, take care of you. Bye-bye.